All right, I know what you're thinking. How to create the next YouTube seems like a really impossible task. But every product, every service, every company one day becomes obsolete. And even YouTube, the #1 website on the planet, is no exception. So in this video, I want to share with you some of my ideas about how you, David, can beat Goliath and create the next YouTube. Howdy-ho, friends. My name's Drew. I'm the CEO of Lumastic, a platform for creators and entrepreneurs to connect and collaborate together. And on this channel, I share my thoughts about how you can solve problems, achieve your dreams, and change the world. If that sounds interesting to you, then be sure to click the subscribe button below and check out the link in the description to join the community over on lumastic.com. On a related note, if this video showed up in your subscription feed and you're confused as to why, it's probably because you were subscribed to Curiository, the YouTube channel I started in college, which thank you for doing that. This channel is a successor to that project, so I hope you'll stick around. And today I want to talk about something I've been thinking about for years now: how to create the next YouTube. There is such a special place in my heart for this platform. I grew up here. I remember watching my first video when I was probably like 10 years old. And over the years, I've watched it as a company morph from one that promotes creativity and self-expression to a company that monetizes creativity and self-expression. And that shift in itself is not bad. Running ads on videos turned YouTube into the #1 site globally and allowed for this whole new creative class to start getting paid to make stuff. But the ecosystem of ad-supported YouTube has caused a lot of tension between creators and advertisers. See, advertisers are YouTube's real customer, right? They pay the bills. And because of this, when creators are angry with the way that the platform monetizes, manipulates, or promotes their content, they don't have any leverage to actually make change. And this would be fine if YouTube had real competition, but it doesn't. Now, I was just listening to an interview that Hank Green actually did with Susan Wojcicki, who's the CEO of YouTube, and she was adamant in that interview that YouTube does have competition. Listen to what she says.
Advertisers, of course, are the ones that pay the bills in a lot of ways. They're the ones who are generating the revenue for us. And we realize that sometimes there's tension between the creators and the advertisers. One thing that creators don't understand well enough is just that advertisers can leave easily. Advertisers also have lots of options, and they can go to all different types of media companies.
And they're way more organized than we are. You know, creators can do some organization, but advertisers, it's not that big of a world.
When I heard that part of the interview, I was kind of shocked because her answer made it so clear that YouTube is not competing for creators. They're competing for advertisers. If you want to create and share videos online, there's really only one website to do that. I don't care what Facebook says. And what this means is that all of the control over hosting, distribution, and monetization doesn't belong with the millions of YouTube creators. It actually belongs to just a few companies that dominate the advertising market. And to YouTube, this strategy has very high defensibility. Like, it's not easy for a new player to come along and be YouTube. There is a big graveyard of companies who have come along, tried, and failed. But there is a vulnerability in this strategy. The place where a new company can really come in and find a foothold is not by being what YouTube is, but by being what it isn't, by creating products that give control back to creators. And we've seen this happen over the past few years with alternative monetization strategies. Teespring makes it easy for creators to design and sell merchandise. Squarespace and Skillshare showed brands the value of working one-on-one with creators to make sponsored content. And Patreon even allows for direct payments from audience members. Did I mention you could buy me a coffee for this video? Link in the description below. All these things are great, but changing the way that video is actually hosted and distributed on the internet, that's something that would really change the world. See, right now as a creator, if I want to upload this video to multiple platforms, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, I have to go through the process of exporting that video, uploading it, writing all the meta tags and descriptions, titles, all that stuff for every single platform. And if I want to make an edit to that video, I misspelled something in a title, or there was actually a copyright claim on music I used, I actually have to go to all of those platforms, delete the video, and do the process all over again. If you've never had to do this, trust me, it's a lot of time and work. And this comes after you've already put in all of the time and effort to actually make the video. It's a bad system, but it exists because right now each company hosts and distributes its own copy of the video. And this isn't just bad for creators. It's also the reason there's a big graveyard of websites and apps that allow you to share online video, because they have to set up their own infrastructure for hosting and distributing the content, which is expensive. And on top of that, they have to convince creators that re-uploading to yet another platform is worth it. And if you're an early stage site that's just starting out and you have very few users, you're not gonna make the cut. So let's say you wanna tackle this problem. You wanna change the way we host and distribute videos online. Here are some ideas about how I think you could do it. This is not meant to be prescriptive, this is meant to be collaborative. These are just my thoughts and ideas. I'd love to hear yours in the comments down below or over on loopmaster.com. The way I think you start is by decoupling hosting and distribution. And you do this by providing a service that allows creators to upload their video once, and you take it to all of the platforms that they list they want it to be served on. And you do it automatically so that no creator ever has to re-upload all of their videos 10,000 times. And the tricky thing here too is that you actually provide a way for other developers making new sites to access those video files into their own applications so that they don't have to pay hosting fees for the video. They just pay for a developer license, and boom, you charge a flat rate per gigabyte for storage. And what you will do by solving this problem is start a chain reaction within the market. Because when creators don't have to choose with their time where to upload their content, it just happens seamlessly. The control of hosting goes back to the creator. And this makes room in the market for new applications to distribute that content, because you don't have to convince creators to play their videos on your platform. You just get access to all of the creators that you want. And it's good for the creator because they didn't have to do any more work and they get to be on some new exciting platform that you're building. And since those new application developers don't have the cost of hosting, they can actually focus on building features just to get users instead of creators. So developers will start to compete to make features that users want. And in this world, they probably don't have to rely anymore on advertisement as a business model, because they could just charge a membership fee for the app. And if this all sounds very familiar, it's because this is essentially how podcasting has worked for the past decade and a half. Podcasters like me, check out my podcast, Learning in Public, link in the description. We don't have to upload our podcast to every podcasting app. You host a podcast with a hosting company, and that hosting company provides a feed that these podcasting apps just grab to bring in your new episodes whenever they come out. And this is why there are so many podcasting apps, because they're all competing just to provide the best service for playing the podcast, whether that's providing automatic transcription or allowing you to change the playback speed. And these hosting companies also have to compete then to get podcasters to host with their company, because they usually charge for hosting your podcast or actually provide you a service where they link you with advertisers to do sponsored segments. And this ecosystem is what has allowed podcasts to evolve so quickly. And it's also why Spotify has spent about $500 million acquiring hosting companies and distribution networks. So if we could bring this type of innovative and competitive environment to online video, the dynamic of the market would completely change. Because when you create choice and opportunity for creators and audiences, amazing things happen. YouTube is what it is because it did that first. It had what's called the first mover advantage. But in Peter Thiel's book 0 to 1, he talks about this concept called the last mover advantage, which is basically when you wait and listen for an opportunity granted to you by that first mover, an opportunity that allows you to ride or create a new wave. And that new wave could be created by someone just like you. Thanks for watching. As always, these are just my thoughts. I'd love to hear yours. You can leave them in the comment down below, or all of my research, everything, my ideas, the entire script for this video is all over on loopmaster.com. So go check it out, steal these ideas, go change the world, and keep me up to date on your progress because I'd love to help in any way I can. Also, if you like podcasts, please go in the link in the description and subscribe to my podcast that I do with my friend and aspiring author Grayson. It's called Learning in Public, and it's a podcast in which we learn in public. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.